All right, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we have waited all winter for, the season begins at Daytona. Kenneth Bartholomew and Richie Joplin will start on the front row. Cody Kennedy, Brandon Newby have the second row. Clay Kirchenbauer, Blake Viken on the third row. Justin Swafford, Tyler out on the fourth row. Harold Rothery and DJ the Iceman Kenner rounding out the top 10. Jeffrey Goodpaster will be starting in 11th. Edmund Jones starts in 12th. Russell Worth in 13th. Colby Whipple starting in 14th. Trevor Sotheby in 15th. Patrick Pieper in 16th. Ryan McDaniel in 17th. Dustin Slover in 18th. Lance Spawnberg in 19th. Brian Hewitt in 20th. Mike Brown, Jeremy Root, and Austin Hakes round out the 23-car field here at Daytona. It's a big field tonight, Angie. Things are going to get dicey out there quickly.
I am certain of it.
Steven, I will shoot you a message later tonight or in the morning to get connected with you, buddy. Everybody lining up on pit road, ready to take to the grid. Everybody begins rolling off pit road. Here we go. All the drivers stack up, ready to go here at Daytona. "23 cars, the first question of the night, when do we see a caution and when will we see the big one?" Well, Kevin, at least you're warm, buddy. If you have a favorite driver in the field, don't forget to drop into the comments. Let us know who you're cheering for here tonight. Here we go. Pace truck is in. They are into the zone and green flag is in the air. They are down and away. The 1,400 at Daytona underway. The new season of Nowski is now. It will take about a lap and a half to get them up to speed. And this, wow, the outside line has just completely fallen apart. You have to go all the way back to 12th. There's 3 cars on the outside, mid-pack. Everybody else has just gone to the bottom immediately. And once they start putting some heat on that top line, it is liable to be the faster way around it. Angie, I know you've raced here a couple of times. Do you prefer the top line or down by the apron?
I prefer down by the apron. That way I don't hit the wall as often.
I am of the same opinion as well. I like being down on the bottom until it's time to make a move, and I can find somebody to go to the top with that can help us shoot by up to the lead. But Daytona, it sometimes just doesn't matter where you are. We've seen chaos in every line here. Another big question is how long before somebody decides to make it 3 wide here?
I don't think it'll be long.
Well, 100 laps. They know they have to survive. It looks like it's going to be about a 3 pit stop race. Most of the drivers saying 25 to 30 laps on a tank of fuel. Plus, these guys have to be conservative tonight. They've only got 1 fast repair. If you want to win, you have to make it to the finish. Kenneth Bartholomew is out front, followed by Cody Kennedy, Clay Kirchmauer, Justin Swafford. Edmund Jones now up 7 spots into the top 5. He is putting that high line together. Dustin Slover also on the attack, started in 18th. That 20 car on the march to the front, he is already into 6th. And Angie, you may be right, it looked like they were almost going to go 3 wide onto turn 4.
Yeah, I saw that.
And a little bit of a blink out of the leader now as Edmund Jones up on the high side, trying to clear and take the lead here. Patrick Pieper just set the fastest lap so far, 46.82. It is kind of funny, the Xfinity cars are actually a little bit faster than the Cup cars here. In some instances, at some tracks, they have more power and they always have less downforce than a Cup car. They are harder to drive. But man, they do draft a lot better than the Cup cars. You can bump draft these things, and yeah, we're starting to see a little bit of that now. Too wide down the back straightaway. Everybody's side by side. We saw it go down to 1 line, but it is already up to 2 lines quickly. Angie, you've raced with some of these folks out here. Are you surprised by the early aggression?
Not at all. No.
If you had
no, I have a feeling it's going to get worse.
if you had to pick the most aggressive driver out here, the ones you know, who you think that's going to be?
I would say Edmund and Ryan.
That's definitely two very good bets here tonight. Got a lot of comments saying Gary Rankin cheering on Mike Brown. Tina, of course, is always cheering on Ryan. Jeremy Edwards cheering on, I believe, Blakey Poo. And Robert Winger saying, happy birthday, Richie. And we're still trying to determine, we'll have to talk to Blake at some point and find out if it's Richie's 375th birthday of 2023 or his 10th birthday of 2024. Do we even know how old Richie is? Do we have to... Maybe we saw him in half and see how many rings he has.
Be the 10th of 2024. 2023 is over.
Well, I'm not sure if it carries over, so...
I don't think it carries over, no.
So, Richie Joplin, the youngest driver in the field for once.
That's right. There you go. He's doing really well for the youngster out there.
He really, really is. A lot of the field still up in this lead draft. Everybody side by side, but back around 19th, Brandon Newby is leading that pack that has dropped off the back. Colby Whipple, Blake Veakin, Austin Hakes, Jeremy Root, all back there. About a 5-car draft pack that are staying just outside of that lead draft. They can pull back up anytime, but they have given themselves a little buffer to try and stay safe if the big one breaks out. Edmund Jones does have the nose ahead as they come through 3 and 4. But that inside line gets a little bit better run out of 4. The outside line will carry a little bit more momentum, but they got to get some more heat up there. And Kenneth Bartholomew leads again, and with the oval refresh, the best line around this track will change quite a bit. As we got one car shooting up to the high side, making it 3 wide, but he is dropping back. That is Goodpaster. Goodpaster pulling out a line, dropping to the tail end here. And man, these cars we talked about the lack of downforce. These cars do not have very much grip out here. As you're seeing throughout the field, everybody sliding around, bouncing. They are affected dramatically by the air, the tire wear, everything plays a factor here. And these cars are sliding all over the place. Angie, you haven't got to drive one of these XFinity cars yet. You've driven the truck and the cup car. Did they move around nearly this much?
No. No. No, I like the cup cars. I can tell this would not be well for me. This would not end well for me.
Had one car just drop to the bottom and dropping all the way back. It looks like Cody Kennedy may have had a problem. No, he was just dropping to the tail, but he missed the draft at the back. Cody has lost the lead draft for the moment. He has no help back there. Edmund Jones finally secures the lead for the moment. Dustin Slover leads that high line, and they are on the attack once again. This lead pack still together and still quite a bit of battling for this early in the race. DJ Kenner still in that lead pack, but is not making any moves. Russell Worth sitting right behind him. Russell also not making any moves. They are just sitting back there riding along for the moment. Brian Hewitt hasn't really made any moves either. Although Hewitt did start in 20th, and we've got another car. It looks like Edmund Jones has dropped to the apron after leading a lap. He's going to the back. Angie, you talked about how hard it is coming back up on this track with that banking through the turns. Did you see Edmund come back up?
No, I did not. I can't. I have that other overlay over the screen, and I didn't see that.
It was a little squirrely. I'll just say that. You mentioned it early on that man, it gets a little bit tricky moving up and down.
Yeah, it's that. Yeah, coming up on that track down there from that apron, it's a little squirrely.
Kenneth Bartholomew has slipped back and was sliding around a little bit. Mike Brown, we've got 2 off track on the back straightaway. Mike Brown hard into the wall. Looks like Swafford also caught up in it. The first caution of the night, lap 13. Let's see if we can see what happened between Swafford and Brown. Here they come down the back straightaway. Swafford down the bottom. Mike just started moving around. May have gotten a bump from behind. Collects Swafford. Brown hits the wall hard. Swafford managing to save it. Let's see if there was contact involved. Watching from our blimp. Oh, yeah, it looks like Clay tried to get a bump draft, but Mike was not in line. It was just an ill-timed bump draft and a little bit of chaos, but only 2 cars involved, not the big one yet. Ryan McDaniel and Mike Brown, the only 2 to come into pit road. Ryan likely just topping off on fuel. I stand corrected. Ryan McDaniel faked to pit road. Now the field is coming in, led by Patrick Pieper. Well, stay warm, Kevin. It's only going to get colder, buddy. And the entire field is on pit road. Both Mike Brown and Justin Swafford maintain the lead lap. And it looks like a few of these drivers are fuel only on their stop. Jeffrey Goodpaster, the only driver that did not pit. Patrick Pieper, fuel only. Same for Richie Joplin, Harold Rothery, Trevor Sotheby. Basically the majority of the field. Kenneth Bartholomew is the first driver on 4 fresh tires. He comes out in 7th. And Dustin Slover looks like he took 4 tires. Clay Kirchenbauer also taking 4 tires. Clay being on fresh rubber, that could be dangerous for the rest of the field. Swafford and Brown both in, getting necessary repairs right now. Let's see if we can get a quick word with our current leader, Jeffrey Goodpaster. Hey, Jeffrey, it's Doug. You got me, buddy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, gutsy call staying out here, not getting any fuel. Are you expecting another caution here shortly?
What's that? I couldn't hear you.
I said that was a gutsy call staying out, not going in for fuel. Are you expecting another caution?
It's Daytona. Yeah, I'm expecting another caution. I just hope I'm not the cause of it.
Yeah, I can understand that. It did look like things were getting a little bit dicey there at the front the last few laps before that incident.
Yeah, that's why I moved from the front to the back, because I was thinking, okay, something bad's going to happen, so I just want to get out of it. And luckily enough, something happened.
It looked like it was a good plan. 2 or 3 of you actually dropped back in about 2 laps to get back to the back and stay safe. It looks like that plan is paying off so far.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to end up doing here. I'm just going to hope for a quick yellow and get some fuel. I need fuel.
Well, good luck, man. We'll see how this plays out for you.
All right, thank you, Doug. Thank you, Angie.
Thank you.
Looks like Goodpaster is looks like he's going to go to the tail end of the field here. So gives the lead up to Richie Joplin, Patrick Pieper. Angie, should we just stop the race right now with Richie in the lead?
Yep. Should just call it good, and Richie won, and then he has to play ATS with us.
That sounds like a really good plan to me. Everybody's stacked back up for the restart. And it wouldn't be the start of a season without doing a little bit of crank it up, folks. So once the green flag drops, we're going to get quiet. You guys crank it up and enjoy the sounds of all that horsepower. Pace car headed toward pit road. Richie Joplin in control of the restart. It is time, folks. Crank it up. Folks, we'd normally give you a couple of laps to crank it up, but then they went 3 wide at the front. Richie Joplin stuck in the middle, and from the back to the front, Tyler Ott, who had been hanging out at the back, just shot into the lead with a big push from Edmund Jones. That was a few moments there where this early in the race, 3 wide, probably not the best idea, Angie.
I don't believe so. It looks pretty dangerous out there to me. I wouldn't want to be on the track with them.
Definitely a lot of back and forth, and we are seeing quite a bit of give and take out here as everybody's trying to make sure they make it to the end. Mike Brown, who was involved in that incident that brought out the first caution, is hanging out at the back for the moment, trying to stay out of trouble. Jeffrey Goodpaster, as we mentioned, dropped to the tail end. And Justin Swafford, who also was caught up in that incident, is now back up into 14th, continuing his march toward the front. He's just going to send it.
That sounds like Swafford.
That does sound a lot like Swafford.
It sounds just like you.
No fear, full send.
That's right.
DJ Kenner has started making his way forward. We mentioned before that first caution, he looked like he was going to hang out at the back and play it safe. Not anymore. The Iceman now up into 7th. Kenneth Bartholomew back in 9th after starting out up front. Ryan McDaniel also on the move, up 5 spots into 12th. A little bobble for Ryan as he cut. These cars just move around so much more than the trucks or the Cup cars. That lack of downforce is really noticeable here at Daytona. Oh! The leader is around. This is the big one, the first big one of the night. Caution is out, lap 21. And a bunch of cars are caught up in this one. Kenneth Bartholomew, Brian Hewitt, Patrick Pieper, Ryan McDaniel, Russell Worth, Colby Whipple, Trevor Sotheby, Edmund Jones, Dustin Slover, Tyler Ott. See if we can see where this started. That 38 car at the front, just a bad bump off the nose of the 10. Wow, did you see that? Somehow Richie Joplin skated through that.
Wants to win so he can play ATS with us.
That's got to be what it is. Tyler Ott caught up in it. And, man, just a ton of cars out of turn 2, catching a piece of it on the back straightaway. Edmund Jones had made his way almost to the front, right behind Tyler Ott, just gets carried up into the wall. When he bounces down, that's where the vast majority of cars get collected. Justin Swafford said it was a brown pants moment. Patrick Pieper, Kenneth Bartholomew, and Russell Worth have had to tow to pit road. Everybody else is headed in. Richie Joplin, Cody Kennedy, and Justin Swafford somehow managed to avoid that. Richie's passed through the middle of that. I'm guessing Swafford probably passed through about the same way. We'll see if we can go back and take a look, because we saw Richie just kind of shoot right through the gap, perfectly timed, right in the right place at the right time. The old saying, you'd rather be lucky than good. There's Justin Swafford at the back. Cody Kennedy right in front of him. Chaos breaks out. Swafford and Kennedy go all the way to the... Whoa! Oh! Folks, that's amazing wreck avoidance. Great job, Swafford. And great job, Cody Kennedy. It's worth noting both Cody Kennedy and Justin Swafford have been trucking with Angie and now suddenly have uber wreck avoidance skills.
They've apparently followed me before in ATS.
I have to think we've trucked with a lot of these with a lot of these Nowski guys, and it's obvious the wreck avoidance skills are really up there right now because of it. You got to think Richie Joplin might have a better season if he goes trucking.
Agree. And I just want to tell them they're welcome.
Don't forget, tomorrow night we will have the HTSAI Community Convoy, so if you want to work on your iRacing wreck avoidance skills, come join us. We'll go trucking together. Angie will have the convoy up at 8 Eastern. We will have the home motorsports broadcast at 7 Eastern. And immediately following that, we will be streaming the convoy, so you guys can get in and get some warm-up before I get there. Then it all really breaks loose.
Yeah, it gets way worse.
I think way is an exaggeration.
Okay. It gets quite a bit worse.
Russell Worth, Patrick Pieper now both off pit road. Kenneth Bartholomew still on pit road getting repairs. Heavy damage to that car. Everybody stacking back up, ready to go. A few drivers pitted at the last minute to top off on fuel. There at the back kind of puts them in that safety zone. Clay Kirchmauer, Mike Brown, Colby Whipple, Brandon Newby, Austin Hakes, and Blake Veakin all at the back, but all topping off on fuel. Richie Joplin in control of the restart. Cody Kennedy up on the high side. A lot of the drivers in the field just used that fast repair up, so they're going to have to be even more conservative here. Pace truck is in. Richie is in the zone. He fires. Green flag is in the air. A fourth of the way through this race and seeing a lot more aggression than what we expected. Seen a lot of give and take out there, but a lot of aggression, and when you crank that aggression up, things are going to happen. A lap and a half to get these cars up to speed. Mid-pack, people moving around. The outside line starting to build just a little bit. Led by Cody Kennedy with DJ Kenner and Edmund Jones. Edmund already back up in the fight after being caught up in the big one. And I know seeing Edmund up there really not a big shock to you, Angie. I know You've raced him up quite a bit, and seeing him on the attack constantly is not a surprise.
Not at all. He passes me several times during a race. He always continues to lap me.
Maybe we'll find a way to put a stop to that.
There'll be a day maybe he won't be able to, but I'm gonna have to start running a lot more and practicing a lot more.
Well, you will be out here for some of these Nowski races this season. That may benefit you here. These guys are definitely a great group of guys to run with, and they do still have some spots open. If you're looking for a great league to run with, a group that's been together for a long time, this is one of those great groups to join.
Wouldn't mind joining, but I don't know about these cars myself, because this would be an accident waiting to happen with me driving.
Well, just wait. We'll be at Talladega soon. Then you'll get to race here in these cars, or race at a very similar track in these cars, and, you get the full experience.
Yeah, total on there too. I get it.
Justin Swafford has moved into the lead with the push from Cody Kennedy. Richie still leading that bottom line with Harold Rothery and Jeffrey Goodpaster back up in the mix. Trevor Sotheby back out on track, but that car is tore up still. He is having trouble maintaining speed. And the group that is hanging out off the back is hanging out a little bit further this time. Jeremy Root leading that second pack, about 0.8 of a second behind the lead pack. Likely the safest place to be at the moment. No! That bottom line got really squirrely, and Goodpaster is dropping back to the back. Goodpaster said right before that caution came out, he knew something was about to happen. He dropped back, and he was safe in that one. Could Jeffrey Goodpaster dropping back, could that be a sign of things that are about to happen? Could it be a bad omen here? DJ almost kissed the wall through 1 and 2. All these drivers struggling to keep the car in line. The only driver that isn't is Richie Joplin. Out front, has the clean air. Has as much clean air as is possible. It's keeping that nose a little bit more planted, but again, these cars have almost the same power as the Cup cars, but nowhere near the downforce, and we may be having a problem because the leaders are coming up on the lap car that is way, way slow. That got a little bit close as they came by Trevor Sotheby. Angie, were you holding your breath on that one?
I was. I saw them coming up on him, and I was just like, oh no. But yeah, they made it, but it was certainly a little close.
I'm sure all the drivers in that lead pack were thinking the same thing. You come up on a slow car like that here at Daytona or at Talladega, and you have got to, you just got to hold on, and it's almost to close your eyes and go.
Hey, I've been in that lap car before. I usually close my eyes and hug the wall.
And if you're in Missouri, just getting word that over 8,000 people are out of power in Missouri right now. Stay warm, folks, and I know that winter storm impacting a lot of us tonight and in the coming days. Everybody stay warm, stay safe. Hey, 27 Tattoo, thank you for the raid on Twitch. We greatly appreciate it. Still too wide throughout the field. That second pack, led by Jeremy Root, has now dropped 1.1 seconds back. They are really playing it safe here, and Oh! Clay Kirchenbauer just shot off the track and is now dropping to the back. I don't know about you, AG, but when I see one of these guys in the lead pack suddenly make a dramatic move like that, it kind of makes your heart skip a beat.
There was a little dawdle there in the field, and I think that was why he pulled back. It looked like it to me anyway. I mean, looked like they kind of about went 3 wide right in there, and it just, one of the cars kind of dawdled around on the top line, and
it is getting a bit sketchy out there, that is for sure. They all, nobody, well, I say nobody, very few drivers in the field have taken tires yet, although it does look like a few did take them under caution, a few more that hadn't. But man, things are really, really starting to get sketchy out here as the leaders' tires get worn. Looking through the field, Richie Joplin is still on his original tires. DJ Kenner as well. Mike Brown also on original tires, it looks like. So a lot of this field still on their original tires, and normally that doesn't make a huge difference at Daytona, but man, it does appear in these Xfinities with this new oval refresh that tires are starting to have a bit of an impact. Yeah, Tattoo, it really is some great racing here tonight. Ryan McDaniel, who was caught up in that incident, got his repaired, now back into the top 10. Mike Brown also caught up in that incident. He is now back up into 9th place. Really expected at this point in the race to see a lot more patience, a lot more single file racing. These guys just have to ride it out. They really don't need to start battling till about 10 to go. The only thing that could change that would be a green flag pit stop here tonight. That might be the one time when these drivers might want to start getting aggressive, is after a green flag stop, but right now it's just not the case. They don't need to battle as hard as they are. Trevor Sotheby had gone to pit road. He is back out. But still way off pace, heavily damaged down on the apron. Sotheby just riding around now to see if he can hold on to some positions and get some points here tonight. Probably a wise move given how many drivers have already used their fast repair here tonight to stay in the fight. I really think that there is a good chance he might be able to pick up a few spots before the night's out.
So they only got one fast repair in this race?
Yeah, they all started with one fast repair, and after that big one, I suspect a lot of them had to use it.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking. I thought that was what you said earlier, but I wasn't sure.
Well, good clarification, especially given the number of cars that were caught up in that wreck that did have to use it. We did see that group at the back The group at the back has gotten a little bit bigger after that incident.
And kind of tightening up a little bit.
Yep, and they not only are they starting to tighten up a little bit, but it looks like Colby Whipple has actually fallen out of the draft with Lance Sponberg. And they are running about 14 seconds behind Jeffrey Goodpaster, who is at the back of that lead draft. But like you said, they are that second group is starting to tighten back up on the lead group. Richie Joplin continues to lead here. Justin Swafford on the high side, push from Cody Kennedy, DJ Kenner. And Dustin Slover up top. Meanwhile, Richie Joplin, Harold Rothery, Edmund Jones. Down on the bottom. And the rookie, Austin Hakes, has been quiet tonight. He started back in dead last in 23rd. He is already up 9 spots into 14th, so it's good to see a rookie doing so well out here tonight. We'll see how the night goes for him.
Nope, wreck. Really bad wreck.
And yeah, multiple cars caught up in that one. Mike Brown, Tyler Ott, DJ Kenner all caught up in it. Caution is back out, lap 41. Let's see if we can see what happened here. Coming through the tri-oval and Cody Kennedy gets majorly checked up. Everybody in that outside line stacks up, nowhere to go. Clay Kirchenbauer. Holy cow, did he skirt through that. Watch Clay in that 23 car on the high side. Somehow just skirts through, spinning cars everywhere, holds on. And DJ the Iceman Kenner right behind, and it looked like Cody just... Something went wrong, and we saw body panels flying everywhere. DJ may have actually got away with this unscathed. Wow. What a turn of events here, because several of those drivers in that incident had already been in a wreck, may have used their fast repair, so we might start seeing a few drivers dropping out of the race or struggling to maintain. But the big winners on this, Colby Whipple and Lance Sponberg, who had lost the lead draft, will now be back up in the pack as everybody is headed to pit road. Richie Joplin was the leader at the time of caution. Will he make it back out? No, he is going to come out. Harold Rothery comes out with the lead. Looks like Rothery did a fuel-only stop. Edmund Jones came out second with right side tires only. Swafford got right sides. Richie Joplin, right side. Same with Jeffrey Goodpaster, Brian Hewitt. Blake Viken back in 7th place is the first car with 4 fresh Goodyears. Everybody coming back out of pit road. Brandon Newby, Clay Kirchenmeyer, Tyler Ott, Lance Spawnberg still on pit road at the moment. Kirchenbauer may have actually taken just a little bit of damage. He is on pit road doing manual repairs here. He is now rolling. Tyler Ott also on pit road. Significant repairs going on that car. And half the field just headed back in to top off on fuel. Meanwhile, lights go out on the pace car. They stack back up side by side. Harold Rothery and Edmund Jones have raced each other for a while in the Jones BS Racing League. Could be an interesting battle up front. Richie Joplin, Justin Swafford, Brian Hewitt round out the top 5. Colby Whipple, Dustin Slover, Ryan McDaniel, DJ Kenner, and Cody Kennedy rounding out the top 10. Angie, we're just shy of the halfway point here. There's already been 2 large wrecks. Do you want to be out front, or you want to still be hanging out back?
I'd probably be hanging out back. There's still several laps to go, and there's still going to be a lot of trying to get ahead up front, and I try to do my wreck avoidance.
Well, we know you've gotten really good at wreck avoidance, so it'll be great to see when you're out here with this group. Maybe you can teach them a few things.
Yeah, I doubt that. I teach them how to have some more wrecks, different ways to do it.
Harold Rothery will be in control of the restart. Pace truck is in. Rothery is in the zone. He fires green back in the air. Rothery quickly clears into the lead, and Richie Joplin, Edmund Jones race together quite often, and Richie is pushing Edmund to the lead. And a big push coming out of turn 2 here. They are going to clear into the lead. Edmund gets a huge push from Richie Joplin. Edmund Jones to the lead. They get single file quickly. And looks like a few drivers may have been slow on the restart, as several different groups have kind of broken up just a little bit. They'll reform here in a moment, but a lot of side-by-side at the moment. Hey, good evening, Matika. How are you? And Matika, I've never gotten a pizza, and I am way nicer than Andrew. Just saying. Angie wants a pizza, don't you, baby?
I do. I like pizza.
Harold Rothery all alone up on the high side after restarting in the lead, dropping back, trying to get some side draft off of Colby Whipple. Whipple, who is 14 seconds out of the lead pack, now back up in here, and he is not going to let the field get away from him again. Angie, despite all the fresh tires out here, there's still quite a few that did not take fresh tires or only took right side. Still seeing these cars move around a whole lot.
Yeah, these cars just don't have any downforce. They don't have anything to hold them down. They just slide back and forth, and that's not good. It would be really worse if it were me out there.
Colby Whipple drops down to the apron. He is dropping out of this lead pack. He must be seeing that sliding. Meanwhile, Swafford goes to the bottom and takes the lead. Rothery helped push him up there. Hey, good evening, Lonnie. Ryan Warp cheering on our defending champ who has been playing it safe all night. Blakey Poo Snickerdoodle Boo Boo sits in 16th at the moment. I'm sorry, champion Blakey Poo Snickerdoodle Boo Boo. I'll get that right at some point this season, probably about the time the season comes to a close.
Better late than never, I guess.
I reckon. I have to keep up with Richie's birthdays, Blake's nicknames. It's a lot.
I know.
But hey, that's why we have Angie. She'll take care of this in the future.
Nah, sure she will.
Richie Joplin riding back in 5th. Clay Kirchenbauer, Brian Hewitt right behind. Richie Joplin and Clay Kirchenbauer are two drivers that have been right behind every incident so far tonight and managed to avoid them. Justin Swafford also has been one of those drivers, one of 3, that has managed to skirt through everything, and they, at least 2 of those drivers definitely have Angie to thank for it. Should they just send money to my PayPal and I give it to you, honey?
That'd be great.
Okay.
That would be awesome, yes.
Well, for Angie's training services, we'll let you know what we're charging.
It's expensive, let me tell you.
It definitely is. Everybody stacked up 2 by 2, not seeing a big breakup in the field this time. Ryan McDaniel, the only lead lap car, not in the draft at the moment. Looks like we mentioned some of the drivers had a hard time getting going on the restart. Ryan is way off pace. I don't know that he has any significant damage. I know he was caught up in the earlier incident, but got repaired. Could be a situation where Ryan tried to drop off the back and just lost the draft. Ryan's got to hope for another caution, but Angie, do you think he's going to get an opportunity to catch back up with a caution?
I believe so, yeah. I believe there'll be another caution pretty soon.
Well, we're just past the halfway point. Patience has pretty well gone out the window tonight. It has been a lot of aggression all night long.
And it's only going to get worse with the less laps they have.
Usually at Daytona and Talladega, the wise move is to play it safe, and then with about 10 to go, then start to make your move, start to make your attack. But we have seen people attacking since the drop of the green flag, and it hasn't stopped. Edmund Jones now back to the bottom. He is one of them that's repeatedly attacked to the front, but now is dropping back. And came back up right there at quarter entry. That's sketchy. Ryan Warp said, whenever Brandon Newby's in a race, cautions will happen. Newby currently in 10th. So who knows what will happen tonight. Once now, after this several cautions, we have had 3 so far tonight. Several cars off pace at the back. Trevor Sotheby, however, did finally get that car fully repaired. He is not on the lead lap, but he is fully repaired and in the lucky dog position. Patrick Pieper also not on the lead lap, but he is up here trying to fight his way to back to the lead lap the old-fashioned way. He's trying to get around the leaders. Russell Worth is also still out on track. Kenneth Bartholomew, the only driver who is retired early from this race. 55 laps in. They're going 3 wide again, Angie.
I see that. I saw somebody kind of tap the wall, but he kept it together.
Seen quite a few taps the wall. Richie Joplin now stuck in the middle. Pieper on the high side. Oh! Oh, Slover's around!
I told you.
And
oh, man.
Everybody gets evasive. Caution is back out. 4th caution of the night, lap 56.
And Richie made it through again, didn't he? Good job, Richie.
Swafford made it through as well. He was in front of
I saw that.
Man, everybody who's had Angie training has made it through. All right, let's take a look and see what happened here. Slover down on the bottom. Comes back up off the apron, and oh, the car behind just barely clips him. Patrick Pieper gets a bump and goes around, but and Slover backs it into the wall. Looks like Trevor Sotheby Tyler Ott also caught in this. Tyler was back behind. Oh, Tyler tried to check up. The car behind him just didn't, and he got yeeted around. Of note, Richie Joplin, Justin Swafford, Clay Kirchenbauer all managed to get through that one again. Ryan McDaniel will pull back up. Trevor Sotheby was involved in that. He went off track during that chaos, but maybe the lucky dog here. We'll have to wait and see. Patrick Pieper, who was 2 laps down trying to regain some ground, got caught up in it and turned around as well. And the field is on pit road. If we see a 4-tire stop here, any driver in for 4 tires may be their final tire stop here tonight. Getting word, my apologies, Clay Kirchenbauer is not only the Nowski Gen 6 champion, he is also the fantasy football champ. My apologies, Clay. Also, Clay, don't text and drive.
Yes, it never ends well.
Remember that.
Tried it on ATS. It doesn't go well. It's never good.
Looks like Sotheby did not get the lucky dog wave around. However, due to everybody going to pit road, He is now right behind the pace truck, which means he will get waved around the pace car here when they get the 1 to green. So that'll put Sotheby back on the lead lap. Tyler Ott, Lance Sponberg, Ryan McDaniel, Dustin Slover all still on pit road as the pace truck comes through 3 and 4. Looks like all three had some damage there getting manually repaired. Ryan is on his way out. Tyler Ott, Dustin Slover are cutting it close here. Ryan McDaniel comes back out in 17th. Tina, would you like me to relay that message to him? You know what? I will do that for you. Hey, Ryan, it's Doug. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Doug. How you doing?
Hey, man, I just have a message to relay.
All right, what's up?
Your mom says, come on, Ryan. Let me read this. Come on, Ryan McDaniel. Get your ass back up there.
I'm working on it. I had some damage on the last caution. It's kind of slowing me down.
Well, Ben, best of luck tonight. I know you struggled earlier on, but hopefully things start to turn around for you right now, buddy.
Appreciate it.
We are cheering.
Good luck, Ryan.
Hi, Angie. How you doing tonight? You having fun?
I'm doing good. I am.
Awesome.
Hope you guys are too.
Oh, yeah. It's always fun.
All right, man.
Good luck out there, man.
Well, Ryan McDaniel, we have relayed the message for you, Tina. Lights are out on the pace truck. Everybody stacked back up side by side. Harold Rothery out front again in control. You're very welcome. And Tina says hi, Angie.
Hey, Tina.
About 41 laps to go on the restart. We have seen some long green flag runs here, almost to the point of needing a green flag pit stop. Will we see a green flag stop here tonight? Green flag is back in the air. They're back underway. And it looks like the usual customers toward the back of the field have started dropping back, getting into a place to play it safe here for the moment. And if you hadn't noticed, folks, this race has kind of gone backwards. They started at night, but the sun is coming up. The track's about to heat up, and for cars that don't have a lot of downforce, Angie, a hot track's probably not the best situation.
Yeah, I know. I heard one of the drivers saying something about it. You want to know if this was the 24 hours of Daytona because it was becoming daylight already.
Well, I have to say you are able to hear the drivers where I am not. So what are you? Are you hearing aggravation, frustration, or is there just a lot of cooperation and apologies and everybody getting along?
To be honest with you, I can't really hear much of it because about the time they start talking, you're talking and telling us what happened. So I can't hear them over you.
Well, I am one.
I agree. That's true.
That was the right answer.
Well, yes, dear, I know.
Everybody's still battling side by side as the sun comes up. They ain't going down till the sun comes up in Daytona. Edmund Jones, Justin Swafford in the lead. Still 18 cars on the lead lap. Trevor Sotheby appears that he did not get waves around the pace car. So he is still scored as 1 lap down at the moment. Pieper still 2 laps down. Dustin Slover is still on pit road. And it looks like Russell Worth about 3 laps down at the moment. But again, it is Daytona. Anything could happen here. As we've seen quite often here tonight. The interesting thing with the Nowski Nation going into a new season with the Xfinity, Clay Kirchner just dropped to the apron. Pulls back up. I thought he was dropping back. The interesting thing about going to the Xfinity cars, as we mentioned, almost as much power as a Cup car, but nowhere near the same level of downforce. Oh, we've got one spinning off. Harold Rothery has gone off track. No caution. Rothery coming out of turn 4. He was bumping. Oh, Colby Whipple came down just a little bit. Bumped into Rothery. Rothery hits that inside wall, goes for a spin. And it looks like the engine may have gave up. At Daytona and Talladega, these cars are all pretty equal and everybody on a fairly equal footing, but with the lack of downforce and all the power, when we start going to the other races this season, these cars are not the easiest to drive. They are a bit of a workout, and it really benefits a driver that knows how to conserve tires and conserve fuel and conserve the car. That definitely lends itself to a guy like Clay Kirchenbauer. DJ Kenner has won an Xfinity championship in another league. So several of the drivers out here definitely are going to be getting a bit of a workout, and some of them may dominate this season. Colby Whipple leads a lap for the first time here tonight with the push from Justin Swafford. We should have looked at the track temperature earlier on. It is currently 66 degrees. As we've got one car dropping way low down the back straightaway, dropping to the tail end. Track temperature is currently 66 degrees. We'll keep an eye on it. As the sun comes up, that track is going to get way hot, and I bet we see more tire changes and slightly slower speeds and more cars sliding around. Right now, the biggest mover so far tonight has been Mike Brown, and Mike got caught up in the big one earlier on in the race and has still fought his way back up into third after starting at 21st of 18 spots. Harold Rothery did tow to pit road. We'll keep an eye out. He is still sitting on pit road. It is a very long tow here at Daytona. Hopefully he'll be able to get back out here and score a few points. Edmund Jones pushes by Colby Whipple on the high side. The push from Mike Brown. Oh, Mike Brown, power move under Edmund. Gets the nose in. He's going for the lead. Angie, there's another surprise these drivers don't know about, but since you're going to be racing some this season with them, maybe I should just give you the heads up on. Not at super speedways, but at some tracks this season, we will be doing the SRX style interviews again, which means we'll be able to pull drivers and talk to them under green flag conditions.
Oh, boy.
It definitely makes things a bit interesting as a driver. I would imagine a little bit tricky out there.
Yeah, I would imagine. I wouldn't want to be interviewed while I was driving. The people that I'm driving with wouldn't want you to interview me while I'm driving.
Note to self, interview Angie while driving.
Nah, probably not a good idea.
It'd be like answering a phone call from you on speakerphone. I can imagine.
Oh, yeah, it wouldn't be good.
No, probably not. A lot of battling going on up front, Angie. It's really starting to heat up when we still have 30 laps left to go here.
Yeah, it's gonna get even more heated, I'm afraid, here in just a little bit.
Seeing some really gutsy moves out here. Swafford we saw Mike Brown's pass to take the lead a few minutes ago, and that was a gutsy move. It was very, very close to possibly sending Edmund around, but now you see Swafford and Edmund shoot back to the bottom. You're seeing guys jump lanes in just the blink of an eye with no warning. If you've got experience at Daytona, you kind of know if there's an open hole, somebody's going to hit it, but man, it's and these cars at this track, it's a risky proposition.
I agree. One I wouldn't want to take.
Definitely not. And
no.
We are starting to see them move around even more. Track temperature, though, has actually gone down a degree. It's now down to 65. That is a bit of a surprise, but the sun is starting to shine over turns 3 and 4. I think in the next 5 to 10 laps, that sunshine is really going to heat this track up.
Yeah, it's going to get heated in more ways than one, I'm afraid.
I have a feeling you're right. And if you look on that right-hand side, folks, you'll see the time. The race temperature is based off the actual temperature in Daytona, Florida on May 15th, or what the predicted temperature is for May 15th of this year. But right below that is the time, and you see the seconds clicking by. It is 8x time. So it is forcing the track to change dramatically throughout the course of... Holy cow! Richie Joplin and Mike Brown had a little bit of contact there. Mike, great save. As I was saying, the time is advancing very, very rapidly. So that's going to cause this track to change very rapidly as well. Angie, you really got to hand it to Mike Brown. He got caught up in that big one. He's came back out. He's fought his way through the field. And he has been ping-ponged a couple of times tonight. Yeah, he is still up here fighting in the top 10.
Yeah, I see that. He's doing a really good job.
Richie Joplin has reclaimed the lead push from Clay Kirchenbauer and Justin Swafford. Ryan McDaniel has made his way back into the top 10. He's gotten all the damage in that car repaired. It looked like Ryan was trying to get past Patrick Pieper there for a moment. Pieper drops down to the bottom now. Might be giving Ryan a little bit of a hand. Huge shout out to Ryan McDaniel and McDaniel's Home Repair for sponsoring another season of the Nowski Nation Racing. And a bit of a surprise here, Angie. The top 5 or 6 cars have gone single file.
So far, but it's still early yet. We've still got several laps to go.
Next time by, it'll be 25 laps to go. If you're in the car and you're toward the back of this field, Angie, what lap are you going to start to make an attack on?
Probably about the 15th. Start trying to get, on up and get up into the lead anyway. Get up in here.
Definitely a good number to start making an attack. Brian Hewitt has had a problem. He is towed to pit road. Let's see what happened. Brian Hewitt just pulls off track. Let's back it up just a little bit here. Brian just pulls off down the back straightaway. No contact, no issues. Hope everything is all right for him. Meanwhile, Edmund Jones has gone back to the lead. Cody Kennedy now up there into second. Richie Joplin has third. Mike Brown in fourth. Clay Kirchenbauer in fifth. Justin Swafford in sixth. Colby Whipple seventh. Lance Spawnberg eighth. DJ Kenner in ninth. Austin Hakes in 10th. Ryan McDaniel has lost the draft again. Did he still have some damage that was affecting the car more than what he thought? He was trying to get some help. Let's see if we can see if there was a problem. There's Ryan on the ball. Ryan got wicked loose. Coming up off the apron, and how he saved that car. That was a great save, Ryan. Honestly, there's about 5 drivers there that owe Ryan a big thanks for holding on to that car, because otherwise a large number of cars would have been in the wall there. Edmund Jones still has the lead. The top 10 have gone single file, but that single file line is really starting to snake around. Track temperature still down at 65 degrees, but now the entire track is in the sun. Clay Kirchenbauer's hopped to the high line with Mike Brown. 22 laps to go. Could this be the start of an attack? The best place to be when they come to the white flag will be in second place with a friend behind. Being in the lead at the white flag, it is never a good situation. And with the sun starting to come out over the track, it will help heat up that outside line. The outside line has been building heat and building speed all night long. Ryan McDaniel has gone to pit road. Kind of a heartbreak, Angie. He has fought back ever since that first incident. He has kept fighting back all night. We talked to him during that last caution. Really thought he was going to get up here and fight for this win.
Yeah, I was kind of looking forward to him, too, as a matter of fact. I know me and him give each other a hard time, but I was expecting him to come on up here and at least be, first or second, something up there.
Definitely a guy who's had a lot of bad luck. We thought the last couple of Mondays, we really thought Ryan's luck was starting to turn around. But it just did not go his way here tonight. Still a very awesome save by Ryan. Great job not causing the big one.
Very much so.
Edmund Jones in the lead, getting bump drafts from Cody Kennedy. The one thing you have to worry about, and now more than ever, is the sun's coming out. If you're bump drafting the car ahead, you gotta watch those track temps, and you've gotta watch your oil and water temp. When you're bump drafting somebody, or even drafting close, we just had half the field hit pit road. Oh! Blanky Poo spun on pit road. As they're out here drafting, they run the risk of overheating the engine. These guys have to be careful. Let's see if we can get a look at Blake's pit road entry. There's Blake coming out of turn 4. Coming in just to get that last little bit of fuel. Blake waiting till the last minute. Gets on the brakes. And the car just snaps around on him. And it looked like he briefly did a burnout there on the wall. Last caution was at lap 64, so these drivers are a few laps short on fuel. These are the final pit stops and the first round of green flag stops this tonight. And it looks like everybody who has stopped is taking fuel only. Lance Sponberg is in alone. He has no drafting help. So far, all these pit stops have been fuel only. Tina, it definitely wasn't, but again, just give Ryan so much credit for saving that car. Here come the leaders. They are headed in. Richie Joplin really sent it in there. Hopefully nobody gets a speeding penalty. Richie picked up two spots as he came to pit. Oh, Edmund Jones gets together with Clay. There's about 3 different wrecks that just happened on pit road. Colby Whipple looked like got together with Trevor Sotheby. Whipple on his way back out. Mike Brown out in the lead. Mike Brown stayed out there alone. When he comes to pit road, he is likely to not have any help. Edmund Jones is back out on track, as is Clay Kirchenbauer. Colby Whipple is back out. Trevor Sotheby also back out. Mike Brown currently scored as the leader. Brandon Newby in second. Jeremy Root now in third. Austin Hakes fourth. Tyler Ott in fifth. Mike Brown gives up the lead. He is on his way in. Cody Kennedy currently runs in sixth. Colby Whipple in seventh. Swofsky in eighth. Richie Joplin in ninth. Clay in 10th. And Newby out front for the first time here tonight. Mike Brown does complete the cycle of pit stops. And Angie, we've got a 5-car breakaway at the moment. Looking back here, Colby Whipple, Cody Kennedy out of the draft and quite a bit behind that lead group. But that lead pack, anything could happen here. Could we see a late race caution here and potentially bring this group back to this pack back together?
I believe it's possible. We got what, about 13, 14 laps to go?
Now 13 to go. Anything could happen here. If these groups back behind get together, start working together, they may be able to pull back up. Got a 2-car pack in 5th place. Cody Kennedy has some help from the lap car of, I believe, DJ Kenner. Colby Whipple leads another pack back behind with Swafford, Ritchie, and Clay. But that big pack back behind, led by Colby Whipple, is 10 seconds behind that lead pack. They are tightening up on the straightaway, trying to gain some ground. They will catch up to Mike Brown in the next couple laps. That'll give them a little bit more help. That lead pack, just 5 lead lap cars. So as this group led by Whipple continues to grow, they might be able to run these guys down, but they're going to have to gain more than a second a lap to get it done. Meanwhile, Newby and crew 5 cars deep also stay in single file for the moment. No battling. Mike Brown out alone in no man's land, but 1 1/4 seconds behind is Whipple and crew. They are closing quick. Cody Kennedy and DJ Kenner. Cody currently in 5th. DJ back in 14th, needing a wave around. They are about 6 seconds behind that lead group. They are not gaining any time, but Colby Whipple is closing in on them really quickly. And Whipple and crew have just started gaining on the leaders quite dramatically. Now the gap is 10.5 seconds. Nine laps to go. They've got 10.5 seconds to make up. Last time by, Whipple and crew were half a second faster than the leaders. But half a second a lap is not going to be enough. Cody Kennedy and DJ Kenner still lurking. Colby Whipple now 2 seconds behind him and closing. That'll be more help. Newbie and crew are definitely watching the relatives now. They're watching the lap times. And last time by, Colby Whipple was 1.5 seconds faster than the leaders. Newbie comes across the line, that time 47.93. Colby Whipple comes across that time slower, 47.20. His group moving up to the high line. They're going to come around. Cody Kennedy and DJ Kenner picking up some help. Caution! Caution is out! With 7 laps to go, we get a caution. It packs everybody back up. Nobody will need a stop. And Clay Kirchenbauer is caught up in it. Clay in the middle of that pack that was gaining just gets a bad bump. Swafford gets a bad bump. They both go around but do not make any contact with the wall. Holy cow, Angie, that was very, very close, and that just changed the whole race. Everybody is back together again. They will restart with probably about 4 laps to go, Angie. What are your thoughts on the final 4 of this one?
I have no idea. I do not know what's going to happen now.
Do you remember when we watched Talladega Nights and that little boy runs around screaming anarchy, anarchy?
Yeah, I do.
I think that might be a pretty good description of what's about to happen here.
I would say, yeah, when we got 6 laps to go. About 4 when they start, probably.
4 when they restart, maybe even 3. Depends on if they decide to shorten the caution laps here. Also, as the sun is fully up, the track temperature has now come up to 67 degrees, and DJ Kenner gets waved around. He'll be back on the lead lap. Ladies and gentlemen, the Iceman cometh. Clay Kirchenbauer, obviously a bit frustrated. He said all plate tracks should be 10 laps at most. Generally, he gets caught up in something. He does really well. We saw him skirt through a couple of cautions earlier in the night, but he always gets caught up in a late incident. We do have the, have a good night, Tina. We do have the possibility of a green-white checkered here tonight as well, if the caution comes out in those final laps. And it looks like the only ones coming to pit road were Clay Kirchenbauer and Justin Swafford for repairs. Jeffrey Goodpaster may have also come to pit road. So Brandon Newby, Jeremy Root, Austin Hakes, Tyler Ott, Cody Kennedy, your top 5. Colby Whipple, Richie Joplin, Mike Brown, and Blake Viken and Edmund Jones round out your top 10. And it looks like we are going to restart with 3 laps to go, and it'll take a lap and a half for these cars to reach max speed. However, as the drivers come up to speed, you see a lot of guys, if somebody can get a slightly better restart, get through the gears a little bit quicker, rev that engine out a little bit more, they might be able to pick off a few drivers on the restart. But again, the one place you do not want to be when the white flag flies is in first, and that just happens to be where Brandon Newby is right now. All right, Angie, it'll be 3 to go at the green. 14 cars on the lead lap. Any predictions or thoughts here?
No. I'm going to play it safe and say no. I have a feeling there'll probably be there'll probably be a caution at some point, and it'll be a green-white checkered.
Definitely has that feel about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We've got some pretty aggressive guys out there, and I can see it happening.
Definitely could, and with the track heating up, a lot of drivers on older tires, it's going to get really interesting quickly. Track's still sitting about 67 degrees at the moment. There's Barney the Flagman getting ready for what could be the final restart. Pace truck is in. They are in the restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. They are away. Down into 1 and 2. Newbie gets a big push from the rookie, Austin Hakes. Into the lead, clears the outside line. Cody Kennedy in third. Richie Joplin in fourth. Richie Joplin got his first Nowski win and his first plate win at Talladega in a truck backwards. He said before the race he'd like to finish one of these races with the win, pointed in the right direction. Still too wide. Nobody making any big moves here. No, Edmund Jones looks high. Edmund's going to make it 3 wide. No, he backs out. 2 to go. Down through 1 and 2. Everybody's settling in. That outside line starting to build some momentum out of 2. Edmund keeps picking up high. Now Swafford comes with him. They're 3 wide. Edmund leads the outside. Root in the middle. Newby on the bottom. That third line is not getting any momentum. They couldn't make a move. Edmund tries it again off turn 4. White flag is in the air one more time around. They are 3 wide as Whipple goes to the high side. He's got the push from Edmund. 3 wide down the back straightaway. Nobody going to the apron. Yellow line rule in effect. 3 wide into 3. Oh!
Oh,
big wreck in 3 and 4. Everybody's caught. This is going to come down to who can make it. Blakey Pooh snuck through. I can't believe it. Blake Viken snuck through. He won the championship last season. He wins the season opener at Daytona. Edmund Edmund Jones comes home second. Justin Swafford comes home a battered third place. Clay Kirchenbauer limps it across for fourth. Lance Spawnberg in fifth. And before we talk to the top three, let's see if we can see what happened. Keep an eye on Jeremy Root in the middle. Looks like Root gets a bad bump into Newbie. Newbie comes up, and then everybody gets involved. But watch Blake Viken. I just noticed how he pulls this off. Cody Kennedy and Richie Joplin, he just leaned on him and they skirted him through that. All right, let's talk to our top three, starting with third place, Justin Swafford. Swofsky, a chaotic night, but you come home with a top three. You got to be happy about that.
Man, I will take that all day. I didn't even expect to get on the podium. After getting in that last wreck, I just gassed it and prayed I was on the standings.
We talked about it earlier on because we saw you have a few close calls and managed to avoid a bit of chaos tonight. Do you attribute a lot of that to trucking with Angie?
Yeah, that is true. You know, trucking with y'all, I definitely get the practice of wreck avoidance, so definitely prepared me for that. So I guess I do thank you.
You're welcome. You are more than welcome.
Man, you had a great run tonight. It really impressed. You came home with third. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you. Thanks, Doug and Ans, for being in the booth, and congrats to Blake for the win.
Thanks, buddy.
Good job.
Swafford comes home in third. Edmund Jones comes home in second. Edmund, does your car even run at this point?
It's running, but man, it was limping.
It looked like it. You caught a big piece of that, somehow managed to come out of it, and that was the second time tonight you got caught up in the big one.
Yeah, I mean, the last words before that happened is, Colby, I ain't lifting. And it was either he was going to win this or we were going to wreck. And, well, it wasn't me and him, but we still wrecked.
You definitely did, but, man, to pull it off, keep your foot in it, and come home second, man, that was an awesome finish. Congratulations, buddy.
Hey, thanks, man. Thank you guys for being up here in the booth, and it's great to be back out here with Nowski.
Great job tonight.
Good job, Edmund.
Thank you.
And finally, our winner, and the defending champ, Blakey Poo Snickerdoodle Boo Boo. Blake, honestly, you really kind of owe that to Cody Kennedy and Richie for pushing you through the finish, or pushing you through that mess, rather.
Oh, no, I have no idea how I won that. That was crazy.
I can tell you exactly how you won it. Richie got sideways into Cody. They got sideways and connected with you, and somehow the three of you drifted out of the wreck. You got your foot in it and went.
I mean, yeah, I just dirt tracked it there. I was just on the gas, off the gas, just turning left, right. I was like, oh my God, please let me go. Let me go.
You finished last season with a championship. You start this season with a win. Is it the start of another championship run?
Man, I hope so. I mean, after that last pit stop, I did not think I was going to win this race.
Man, it didn't look like it. It was a lot of big gaps in there, and then that caution comes out, shakes everything up.
Yes, it did.
Man, a great job tonight, a great win, and apparently you owe Lonnie a shout-out.
I do. Thank you, Lonnie. You're a great coach. I will see you whatever.
Great job tonight, man. Congrats.
Thank you, man.
Great job, Blake.
Thank you.
Blakey Pooh Snickerdoodle Boo Boo gets a surprising win there. That is one we'll be looking at for a while because that was an impressive slide across through that wreck. Angie, any final thoughts after that one?
No, I'm just glad I wasn't out there with them, but that was a great race. The guys all done a great job. Congratulations to all of them.
Well, great job to all of the drivers. Congratulations to Blake, the defending champ. Starts a season off with a win. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to come back tomorrow night, 7 Eastern, for Home Motorsports at 8 Eastern. Angie, we'll have the HTSAI Community Convoy up, and we will be streaming that as soon as that Home Motorsports race is over. Hope everybody had as much fun as we did tonight. Have a great night, everybody.